Hey Scrappy friends, thanks for joining me. It's Audrey. Welcome to week 2 of the Summer Scrappin series. I did a week back in July that you can go check out. I have 2 guests joining me today, Jody Compton and Christine Meyer, so you can go check out their channels linked below. Today I am going to do a page about a little lemonade stand my daughter and her friend made last year. So I went through my stash. I knew I had a ton of things with lemon citrus icons, and I dug through my stash and I found some bits from an older Pink Fresh Studios, well, I say older, it might be last year or the year before, Pink Fresh Studio collection, and then it was part of a Hip Kit Club kit. And so I am just digging through all these little bits from the die cuts and ephemera packs, and you can see I pulled out some papers. I also have a cut file to the right that I cut out and I must have used on a previous page, and isn't it terrible that I can't remember what my previous page was that I used that on, but I know I did because it was cut and I guess I had just used a couple of the slices, so I'll try to use that. And because it's about a lemonade stand and I'm pulling out all the lemon things, I know I have so many like little bits that say the word sweet on them somewhere. So I was going to look for a title that had the word sweet. So I don't really have a plan or a design in mind for this page as I'm starting, besides the fact that I knew I wanted to cut out a whole bunch of lemons and use some lemons kind of scattered around my page. So I decided to go with this piece of pattern paper. I know there are tons of other collections that have lemon printed papers that I know I have somewhere, but I had all the, like I said, the matching embellishments and things for this line, so I just decided to work with this. I also decided to use this piece of paper for my background because it has the citrus slices on the back there, and I'm going to kind of just use some gesso over the background here to tone it down a little bit, and so I can do some mixed media over the top. So I have never done like a lemonade stand picture or layout before, and I'm like, we've only ever had one lemonade stand, so I want to get this lemonade picture, this lemonade layout like perfect, right? Because who knows if I'll be doing another lemonade stand layout, so I got to use all the things lemon, and I've got to make sure that it's exactly how I want it to be. So I was humming and hawing about what color to use for my background, and I wanted to use something that would make the yellow lemons pop. I had considered doing pink because the girls are wearing pink in the photo, but I decided to actually go with green and then just use a few pink embellishments on the rest of the page. So I'm going to go with so the colors I'm using some Distress Oxide. I think one is called like Cracked Pistachio or something pistachio, and then kind of like the citron yellow I mixed in with a little bit there, and then I'm using a Shimmers excuse me, a Shimmers plain yellow. I think it might be called Sunflower. I can't remember what the color of the Shimmers is, and I'm adding some yellow splatters over there. So I really over like the yellowish areas. I really love how this is looking. I let that dry, and then I'm going to go back with some pink splatters, and I definitely wanted to make sure it was dry before I added the pink, because sometimes when you mix pink and green or a red and green, it can turn kind of brownish. So, okay, so that has dried, and now I picked up a scrap of paper, again from an old kit, that I'm going to back my photos with, and I think this really picks up on the pink in the photos. How cute is their lemonade stand, by the way? We planned this. My daughter and I, we sat down, really planned out the whole thing, and my dad and brother helped us throw a little stand together with just some scraps of wood we had, and we brought some crepe paper and made little printable signs, and they got all the lemons, and they had matching little lemon shirts, and they decided to donate half of their earnings to a local pet shelter, which I thought was so cute. I think they made like almost or over $100, which they donated half, and then split the rest. So I literally just kind of scattered those lemons on the background. I like how they how the green in the back kind of like blends with them but lets the yellow stand off. And then I found that word sweet from a sticker sheet. And then I'm bringing in a couple other pops of color here, the blue. This one banner piece, I thought I had to use that because it goes perfectly with the banner that's in the photo, and I end up kind of recreating the look that's in the photo on my page. And then I'm going to go to this cut file, and honestly I do not remember where this cut file is from because like I said, I had cut it out a long time ago. It might be Hip Kit Club, I don't know. But I'm just going to cut out some of those slices. I like the way that those look, and the yellow, that color of yellow cardstock matches pretty nicely. And I just felt like I needed a couple other pink embellishments. This page actually comes together pretty quickly. I mean, for me, sometimes I overthink my designs and layouts, but this one, like I said, I limited myself to a kit and some certain colors, and it just made the process seem to go so much faster. So because I used the blue labels there, I thought I needed just a little pop of kind of that bluish periwinkle purple color over by my title. So I put a little flower there on the word sweet, and I'll cut out a couple more of these slices. And I like to work in multiples of, of an odd number. So I like to either have 3 of something to create a visual triangle or 5 of something. So I think I used 5 slices here. And I don't know, it just helps with the flow and movement of your eye across the page, I feel. I mean, sometimes I like to do something that's symmetrical, but for the most part, I like the odd number items. So I took some little wood like sticks. It actually came from a recent Hip Kit Club kit. It had like a little ephemera pack that was like a cake like a cake topper thing with a little banner, and so the sticks were in the package. And so I just cut a stick in half. They're kind of like little bamboo skewers, and I'm gonna put those behind my photo to kind of make it to hold the banner up. So I'm using some glue dots on the sticks, and I'm going to stick the sticks to the banner die cut, and then I'm going to position them behind my photo. But before I do that, I'm going to start gluing some things down on my background so I know exactly where I want them. And because the sticks were under the photo, they kind of made the photo pop up a little bit, so I have to add a little extra piece of foam in the middle to make the photos the right height, I guess. And I gotta trim the sticks down because they stuck too far down behind the foam. And I'm just using a tape runner to kind of hold the sticks in place while I put these photos on top. And it seems pretty secure. I do go back, I don't show this on screen, but I did add some dabs of liquid glue on the wood sticks after the fact. I thought they might be a little flimsy, so behind the photos I put some glue to help secure the wood sticks there. And I'm just going to go through and start gluing down these lemons. Some of the lemons I'll pop up, some of the smaller lemons that are like with the puffy stickers or the die cuts, I'll pop up off the page with foam squares, but these ones I'll just secure to the background. I had considered maybe using some yellow enamel dots on the center of the slices of the die cut slices, but I didn't end up doing that. I'm going to go with some sequins here in a minute. So these shapes don't end up in the exact spot that I had laid them out to begin with, but close enough. I realized I had the slice I'm just playing with now down further to the bottom left, but it all works out just fine. I got these new adhesive foam squares. I needed some new ones. I think they're the Scrapbook Adhesives brand. Is that what it is? The Scrapbook? I can't remember the brand. But I like that the sticker on the top of them is that pattern, the white with the little black dots, so it's easy to see whether or not the foam square has the sticker on it or not. And they're black, but it's I mean, you don't really see the black ones were so much cheaper than the white ones. So even though the foam squares are black, you don't even see that, obviously, because they're underneath all the bits. Okay, so I went through my stash. I found another alpha, so I'm going to call this Sweet Lemonade Stand. When I do my titles, by the way, to center them, I think about the word that I'm going to spell, and then I think about what the middle of that word is, and then I will line up those letters starting with the middle. So that's why I started with the O and the N in the lemonade stand, because I wanted it to be centered underneath the word sweet, and that just helps me center it. So that's why I often spell my words from the middle out, or depending on how I'm lining up the edges of the letters. Sometimes I spell them backwards if I'm lining them up on the right. So that's why. So if you're wondering why I start spelling my words in the middle, that's why I do that. And then I'm going to go through with some yellow sequins, and I'll add little clusters of yellow sequins to my lemons here, which I like. What do I have in my arm? Looks like a cut, and there's the final page. So I love all this little lemony yellow goodness of everything lemon. And I love the pop of pink and that periwinkle. It's just really cute. And I love these photos and I love this story. That's my favorite part about this. And yes, I was thinking about what the scrapbook page would look like as we were setting up this lemonade stand, and I couldn't wait to scrap these photos. So, but yeah, so you can see all the little bits there. So thank you so much for joining me today for my Summer Scrappin series. Be sure to check out my guest designer today, linked below. Thanks so much for watching. Stay scrappy, friends.